Hey, what's up everybody? Dammerfarben Metal Reviews here once again. Today we're doing another edition in my series of underrated CDs from my collection. Gonna go through 5 underrated albums that I own that maybe I don't get to talk about too often, that I want to spotlight so that maybe if you haven't heard them before, you can go check them out. Yeah, you know the spiel by now. This is what, volume like 8 or 9 in this series? I can't even remember. I'll have to go look when I'm titling this on my channel, but yeah, it's somewhere around there. Been doing 5 albums a month since around the start of the year, so let's just get into this without further ado. The first album I am going to talk about today is Askival with the album Eternity. So this was a one-off project. This is done by Andy Marshall, the man behind Seor. This is from his pre-Seor days, so before Seor had even started. His project was Askival, one-man band. This is atmospheric black metal blended with folk from Scotland. So if you've heard Seor, you kind of know what you're in store for here. This isn't quite as epic or majestic in scale as Seor. He obviously developed his sound further, changed the band name after this one release because he wanted to explore a little bit deeper direction, a little bit more mature songwriting. But all that being said, yes, I think Seor is better than this, but this album is absolutely amazing as well. There's still absolutely gorgeous melodies. Got the CD there as well. Just great songs. There's a lot of like instrumental interludes interspersed in between some of the longer tracks. Like Last March of the White Wolves is like, I don't even know, 14-15 minutes long. Forged in the Fires of Alba is an absolutely amazing, catchy song that will stick in your head. If you haven't heard this project before, go check out that song, let you know what it's all about. The vocals are a little bit different than he does on Seor, but yeah, this is just beautiful stuff. Brings in some female vocals in a couple spots. Just Scottish music put to black metal. It works so well. Andy Marshall's one of my favorite musicians out there. Don't get to talk about this album too much, but yeah, definitely go check out Askival's Eternity if you have not. All right, up next, let's switch to some death metal with Obscura and their album Omnivium. So this is probably my favorite album by Obscura. This band is from Germany. Plays kind of a unique blend of like progressive death metal, technical death metal. Think like later era death would be a clear influence for them, but even some Morbid Angel, but then dial up the technicality even more. I mean, the guitar work on this album is top notch, and the lineup here is insane. I mean, Stefan Kummer, the main man behind the band, is also the lead guitarist and vocalist in Volcandra. That's more his black metal outlet, but here it's straight ahead death metal with that technical touch. Christian Muenzer, one of the best lead guitarists out there. I'm going to mispronounce the bass player here, Jeroen Paul Thesseling, but amazing fretless bass playing. And then, of course, Hans Grossman on drums. Like, this lineup is fucking stacked. Just an all-star lineup of German musicians here. And this album, wow, the riffs will blow your socks off. The solos are nuts. And just the songwriting in general, it's really cool stuff. I mean, it's got like this kind of spacey themes throughout, but really great stuff. I mean, I can't pump this up enough. If you've heard like the latest Obscura, it's a lot different than this. Their newest album was more on like a big injection of mellow death into their sound. That's not really present on this album. This is more just like progressive technical death metal. But yeah, maybe I don't listen to a lot of like technical death metal these days, but these guys are an exception. This is a great fucking band, and this is an amazing album. Definitely go check it out if you have not heard it. All right, up next, we're going to go back with some more black metal. I know you're probably sick of me talking about all of the side projects of Jake Rogers on this channel. He's the guy from Visigoth, Caladan, Brood, Gallowbraid. But for this next one, I'm actually going to flip it around and do the other guy's side project from Caladan, Brood. So not Jake, but the other guy, Sven Smith, the other half of Caladan, Brood. And he put out a one-off album as well. I'm not sure if he's ever going to do another one, but that is, of course, Ered Wethrin with the album Tides of War. This album came out right after the Caladan Brood album, actually. Got the digipack here. I mean, that's the only version of this, I believe. It wasn't mass-produced. But yeah, it was released on Northern Silence, and which, I mean, pretty much everything they release is gold. But yeah, so the raspy vocalist from Caladan Brood, that's him here doing everything. Maybe this is a little more guitar-based, but it's still got the keyboards and atmospherics to it. I wouldn't say this is quite as epic in scope as Caladan Brood, nor as good, but no one really talks about this album. I know, like I said, Jake Rogers' other projects, Gallowbraid gets a lot of like hype, and deservedly so. That's one of my favorite albums ever, but I don't really hear too many people talking about Ered Wethrin, and this album, it kicks ass as well. Sven Smith is also in Winterlore, which is another great Utah-based black metal band, but this is his one-man project. If you've never heard it before, go check out the song Into the Stars. The opening riff is so melodic and kind of repeats throughout, just takes you on a journey. Some of the lyrics here are still based on Malazan, which is the lyrical concept for all of Caladan Brood stuff. I think only one or two songs, if I'm remembering correctly, are based on that, but he's got some different types of lyrics here as well. It's not just one concept here. But yeah, really awesome stuff. Super underrated black metal band. Definitely go check it out. Hopefully we get another album by this project in the future. I'm not sure, but until then, go check out that album. All right, up next, I'm going with a band that definitely is not underrated, but this album in the course of their discography, I would say, is underrated, and that is Black Sabbath with Technical Ecstasy. So, of course, Black Sabbath needs no introduction at all, but I chose Technical Ecstasy because this album gets shit on quite a bit by the masses, and I get it. It's not their best album. It's not even fucking close to their best album. But at the same time, this is not a terrible album. There are some gold moments on here. Yes, it's uneven. I don't like every song on this album. I wouldn't even say this is a top 10 Sabbath album. But I don't think it necessarily deserves all the hate that it gets. So for that reason, I'm saying it's underrated. You got a song like Dirty Women to close this album off. That song kicks ass. That is an absolutely amazing Black Sabbath song. The album as a whole, yeah, not as good, but Backstreet Kids, Rock and Roll Doctor, like there's still some good cuts on here. It's just uneven and it doesn't stack up to their previous stuff. So I understand why not a lot of people like this album as much, but I wouldn't completely write it off. Yeah, the album cover is weird as shit. Like, what is this? Robots shooting each other, having ecstasy. Like, it's weird. I don't get it, but nonetheless, this album, I think, doesn't deserve all the hate that it gets. Like I said, it's not even close to my favorite Sabbath album, but I chose it today because I do feel like it is a little bit underrated. All right, we got one more to go for today, and that is Dammerfarben with their album Im Abendrot. So this is the debut, I believe, by these guys. They are from Germany as well. And yeah, this is some atmospheric black metal, very majestic, brings in a lot of strings and cello and stuff like that. It just really adds to everything that's going on with their sound, and it is just, like I said, majestic is the best word to describe this. This is the only CD I have by these guys, actually. I still got to get the rest because this is really killer stuff. This would be for fans of bands like Agalok, Panopticon, stuff in that vein. All the lyrics are in German, so I don't really understand what they're saying, but his rasp is great. It suits it so well. Like, while it's got these acoustics and strings like cellos and stuff interspersed there, the vocals still give it a very harsh black metal edge, and it's just really awesome stuff. I feel like this band doesn't get talked about enough, and this album is absolutely killer, like super standout stuff. Definitely go check it out if you have not. Cannot recommend this one enough. So anyways, that's my 5 albums that I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you got some new stuff to listen to from this. If you've heard these before, let me know what you think of them. And until next time, Hammerheart Metal Reviews, out.